Viewers and subscribers, welcome back to Beating the Press podcast. I am your host, Rafa. Now, coming up in this evening's podcast, we're going to be looking at the two big matches coming up for this game week. First up, we have Aston Villa taking on Newcastle. And of course, the big one, the game everyone is talking about, Liverpool playing host to Chelsea. Now, joining me this evening to preview these two matches and to talk some EPL football, we have returning to the platform, Sir Cole.
Greetings, everyone. Glad to be back.
Yes, indeed, Sir Cole. Welcome back. And of course, we have Christophe.
Good to be back again, viewers.
Yes, Jen. So let's kick the ball off. Let's get the ball rolling. Let's jump straight into it. Aston Villa taking on Newcastle. Big match, Sir Cole, big implication. Aston Villa still sitting pretty high up in the table. Newcastle somewhat wobbling in mid-table. Talk to us, Sir Cole. How do you see this one?
Another tight game. Newcastle has really fallen off in the last few weeks. Aston Villa, I think, is due our result as well. So another tight game. Both with a lot riding on this one. I think Aston Villa, I think, probably wants to move, a bit nearer to the top two. Tight affair, very tight tactical affair in my opinion.
I mean, Aston Villa have fallen off, especially in their goal scoring recently, Sir Cole. I mean, Watkins seemed to be off form, not really getting on the score sheet. And the last match, Aston Villa played, I believe, Chelsea in the FA Cup, and that one ended in a 0-0 draw. I mean, what's going on, Sir Cole? Has the goals dried up for Watkins? Or is this the best of him?
I believe the team has gotten a bit tired. The same players, not much rotation, or basically maybe persons have really figured them out. So the goals have dried up. Probably the coach will have to come up with a new tactic as to how to go about now to getting the 3 points. That was different from what they were doing before.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, in order for them to maintain their status and even push, the league leaders, I mean, goals are a must. But Christophe, I'll come to you on this one. Looking at these two teams, Christophe, Newcastle definitely need a result playing away from home. And of course, Aston Villa playing at home. That's where they have gotten most of their success this season. They have been a fortress over there at their home ground. How do you see this one panning out, Christophe?
I think it will be an interesting match for the neutral fans. I think it could be very entertaining. Newcastle must win. Aston Villa also must win. The problem for Newcastle is they are carrying a lot of injuries and suspensions. Well, one suspension, but a lot of injuries. Aston Villa has some injuries as well, but not as much as Newcastle is carrying. Ollie Watkins still good. I mean, sometimes you just drop off 1-2 matches. Can't look at that too much, but I think of the two center forwards, I would say Isak is probably the more dangerous, the more versatile, in my opinion. I think Aston Villa should win at home, but I think it will be a very close match.
So you're taking Isak over Watkins, Christophe, at this point in time, or generally speaking?
No, at this point in time, I think Isak would probably be the more dangerous of the two.
Yeah, I mean, Newcastle do pose a number of attacking threats. I mean, apart from Isak, we have the likes of Gordon, who has been really one of those standout performers this season, Sir Cole. I mean, can we see Gordon break into the English team, Sir Cole? Is that a possibility for the Euros?
It is a possibility. While I really don't think it will, be that he may be in the squad. But if he is in the squad, I really wouldn't argue against his inclusion.
Christophe, you jump in. I mean, you seem to somewhat disagree with Sir Cole there.
Somewhat. I mean, can he make the squad? Yes, he can make the squad. Will he make the squad? I don't think so. I think Southgate likes familiarity. He sticks to what he knows.
So,
He plays very. To me, it's conservative. He has a wealth of attacking talent in the current English squad, but he plays a more conservative approach versus, just unleashing these attacking players. So I don't think
Yeah,
he's going to make the squad. He's good enough to make the squad. I don't think he will.
yeah, I mean, he has definitely been one of those standout players this season. And I mean, if his progress continues and the statistics backs that with goal and assist, then the English media may pressure Southgate into including him in that
I don't think
English
so.
team.
The English media is
But
not going to pressure
no,
Southgate into anything.
they can try to pressure, but Southgate has
Ex-
and to succumb
yeah.
to the
So
pressure.
Southgate
So that
does
won't change
not
anything.
does not crumple under that type of pressure. I
yeah,
think
we've
maybe
seen
the
him.
the FA need to talk to him and say, hey, we have all these attacking players, let's play a little more attacking football. He
Well,
plays too
definitely, this
conservative.
might be his last tournament. So the next manager coming in, we may very well see that approach where it's a more attacking approach with the abundance of English talent. But I mean, that's for another discussion. But at this point, Sir Cole, though, how do you see this one panning out? I mean, can Newcastle go to the fortress, which is Villa Park, and can they squeeze out a result?
They can piece out a result. They do have the ammo to go there and to fight toe to toe against Villa. I mean, we have seen the biggest of goals go to Villa and come out pointless. So those back-to-back wins in, was it late November or early December, where they beat City and Arsenal, I think that cemented their aspirations that yes, they are a valid top four team. And while Newcastle on their day can go there and get a result, I am still backing Aston Villa to come out with worst case a draw, but to at least look to get 3 points in this one.
Yeah, it's gonna be hard pressed for Newcastle to really get a win out of this one. The Aston Villa defense have been standing firm of late, and as I mentioned earlier, their record at home have been one of the best in the league this season. So it's gonna be a very tight game, in my opinion, with the lack of scoring from Aston Villa. And of course, Newcastle isn't really firing at their best either, and they are also dealing with a few key injuries. For example, Almiron is definitely out of this one, and he has also been linked with some transfers away from Newcastle as well. So even if he was fit, he may be a little unsettled. He may be looking ahead to greener pastures. And of course, on the Aston Villa side, goals have dried up, so they definitely need to get back to their free flowing best. And of course, the likes of Ali and Bailey need to step up and step in that party. But Christoph, how do you see this one playing out? Can Aston Villa continue their rise, or will they fall at this Newcastle hurdle?
I think Aston Villa should win, maybe 2-1, but Newcastle does have it in them to spoil the party, I think.
Spoil the party. Definitely Eddie Howe will be looking to do that because Newcastle definitely need points. They have really regressed, I would say, Sir Cole, when compared to last season. And it may have been in too many competitions. And of course, that squad depth is tested. And they have been plagued with a series of injuries as well. So it seems as if they have to pretty much recalibrate and try to rally and pick up points wherever they can at this point in time.
Yeah, I really don't think their problem was depth. Their problem was key. If you have two players for a position and they're well, then you don't have a depth. When really actually you do. It's just that they were not fit at the time when they were being called upon. So the physios and the physical trainer probably need to take a look into their work. But that being said, they still can find the necessary tools to get a result out of this one. Still, mind you, I'm
Oh,
expecting an open, high scoring game in this one. It won't be
oh,
yes. I'm thinking
I beg to
wins.
differ, Sir Cole. I'm looking at a tight affair, possibly a Aston Villa 1-0.
Aston Villa 1-0.
Aston Villa 1-0.
I'm taking Aston Villa 3-2.
3-2. And what says you, Christoph? You're still sticking to 2-1 Aston Villa?
2-1 Aston Villa. I think
I
it's most
feel
likely.
Aston Villa will keep a clean sheet in this one, Sir Cole, and barely squeeze out a victory. But we'll definitely be watching this one with close attention, and we'll be back, viewers and subscribers, to definitely, give our review on that one. But the next big match, Sir Cole, Christoph, is that massive game. Liverpool versus Chelsea. And Liverpool have been in the news all of this week, Sir Cole. Talk to us about that one, Sir Cole. With Klopp announcing his imminent, what should we say, departure from Liverpool at the end of the season.
Well, that for sure came as a shock. I would never have expected such an announcement at this time of season. So I am wondering why the timing, at this time, probably after they had won or lost the title, then after you can see, well, then, this is it. But I would never expected such a call in the middle of the campaign. Literally, it really comes as a surprise. Mind you, they are on top of the league right now, so it really isn't a better position to be in. But the timing of it, I think, is strange.
Well, I mean, subsequent news is that the Liverpool club itself was informed from November, Sir Cole. So the club knew of his departure. It's just a case where it's now being made known to the public. But I see where this could be beneficial for the players and this season in particular, Sir Cole. To be honest, I mean, Klopp has pretty much rebuilt that entire midfield. And as you say, the club is in pretty much a super position. I mean, if at the start of the season you would say, hey, Liverpool, come the end of January, you're going to be leading the league by 2 points. I'm sure the club would have taken that position to start the season with. So it's surprising, definitely. But I see where Liverpool now pressing for 4 titles as they did 2 seasons ago. I see where it could be beneficial because pretty much I think it might act as a motivation for players to just go all out and all in. But Christoph, I'll bring you in at this point. I mean, Klopp to go at the end of the season, Christoph, what's your read on that? And who can we look at as a replacement?
It's a big shock to know that Klopp is leaving. I think because probably one of the best managers in football and has been very good for the English Premier League. It will be a terrible loss for Liverpool if they can't replace him. My best bet for a replacement would be Xabi Alonso. I think he's doing
he's
a
at Leverkusen now, though, Christoph.
Right, but he has a clause in his contract that allows him to leave for Liverpool. So.
For Liverpool specifically, or any other club?
No.
Specifically
any
for
of his
Liverpool.
former clubs.
Yeah.
Any of his
former clubs. So potentially Bayern, Real
Bayern
Madrid, or Liverpool.
Yes.
Or
yes.
Real Sociedad as well.
Right.
Yes, that's the clause I think that's in there.
Right. So and the Leverkusen CEO did also say that they would not stand in his way if he chose to join Liverpool at the end of the season.
But would he be a good fit for Liverpool though, Christoph? I mean, can he fill the void which Klopp would have left?
I mean, he plays a different style of football from Klopp, but we can see from Leverkusen that he is able to get his style of play across, the type of football that he wants to play. Not like Eric Ten Hag, who you're not sure what he's playing, but he'll get what he wants to be played across, I think. And he'll be inheriting a very good squad of players, so I think you'll get the most out of him. But that is if he chooses to join Liverpool. There's no guarantee that he wants to join Liverpool at this time. But I think it's a massive loss to Liverpool at the end of the season, but it could be a galvanizing factor for the players to push on and win the league title.
Yeah, that's my read on the situation as well. I mean, Liverpool is now in one cup final, the Carling Cup, still going strong in the FA Cup. Europa League have advanced to the knockout stages and leading the league currently. I mean, all to play for, to be honest. And as I said, as you said, it could act as a galvanizing force, which is my read on the situation as well. The team has been playing well. And if they can get a result versus Chelsea in this one, then again, that will only push the narrative even further. But of course, we know the vultures are also circling. So a loss versus Chelsea, then all of a sudden the narrative changes. It's because of the announcement why the team lost. So you understand what I mean, Sir Cole? The announcement came, the team lost. Hey, what's going on? Regression starts, So it's a lose-lose situation until you actually win a title, Sir Cole.
Yes, I agree. I agree also that it could serve as a factor to motivate the players. Want to send the coach off on a winning note with multiple titles. But then again, I don't think whoever it is that comes in will have the effect that Klopp had, or at least would have left the club in. Right, it took him a while to get there. He really didn't come in and upset the apple cart at once. It took him a while to actually come in and win some titles and cement his style of play and be a consistent top 2, 3 team. But yeah, mind you, I'm not really. I won't say I'm sad at the announcement. Just as all the others were happy with Sir Alex.
I
Yeah,
am
the
definitely sad
time
at the
has
announcement.
come as well.
Yeah,
I'm
it's a
sad at the
shock.
announcement.
It's shocking, shocking. I didn't see this one coming. I woke up the morning to some devastating news, circle. I still haven't recovered from the news as yet. I'm still dealing with it, to be honest, because it's gonna send shockwaves through the club, and come next season, it's gonna be a different Liverpool in my estimation. I think Liverpool will take a couple steps back before they really get or maintain their position, competing for the title week in, week out, regardless of who comes in. So it could be, I mean, a few names have been thrown around, but regardless of who the person is, I mean, there's no replacing Klopp, the sort of effect he has on that team, on that city, on that club. So he did well, and I must use this opportunity as well to really thank Klopp. I mean, he broke the 30-year drought, circle, and his name will forever be in Liverpool's history. So, I mean, hats off, but as they say, all good things must come to an end. And, this is a bittersweet moment. At the end of the day, you have to allow persons to move on, you're running off of energy, etc. But at the same time, it will be a devastating loss. But I must say, as a Liverpool fan, my thanks must go out to Klopp and the sort of football he brought to Liverpool. And he has really been a great servant for the club, especially with the meager finances which he has been given to spend. So hats off, Sir Cole, hats off. But at the end of the day, Sir Cole, life goes on and the games are still coming thick and fast. Chelsea is looking to upset the upper card, Sir Cole. Can they do it at Anfield is the question.
They can. I don't think they will either. They will come in, trying to get the 3 points. Do they have the necessary tools or players up their sleeve to achieve the result, especially at Anfield? I don't think they do.
Christophe, how are you seeing this one though?
Um, I mean, Chelsea's carrying a lot of injuries. Not that most of these are starters or anything. Maybe one starter or two. Reece James and Jackson, I guess, is away on international duty. But I
Well,
don't think if
I believe he might be returning soon though. I believe Senegal was knocked out this evening, Sir Cole. Penalty shootout with the Ivory Coast.
okay, not sure that
So
is going to make a huge difference because his finishing isn't really anything to call home about either way. For Chelsea, the danger man is clearly Cole Palmer for them at the moment. But I think Liverpool have enough in them to take the 3 points. I don't, as I've said all season, I don't think Chelsea is as good as people think they are at the moment. I think Liverpool is far superior, and Liverpool should, in theory, win this game. I think easily, but that could be down to the shooting on the day, because we know Darwin Núñez has a tendency to miss easy goals. So there will be no shortage of chances for Liverpool, but it's how will the finishing be on the day to me. But I would say 3-1 Liverpool.
3-1 Liverpool, bold call there, Christoph. I mean, Chelsea have been playing some good football of late, and in the FA Cup recently, they drew with Aston Villa 0-0, which, based on how Aston Villa have been playing this season, is no easy feat. So to come away with a draw versus a decent, solid Aston Villa team, that is definitely some positive right there. And if they are able to bring that sort of form into this game at Anfield, it might be a tight affair. And of course, they should be meeting each other again in the Carling Cup final as well, Sir Cole. Will that game have any effect on this one, Sir Cole?
Well, this one is coming before, so it's quite likely that I think it will be the other way around. This one we probably have an effect on that one. Uh, that being said, Chelsea are an improving team based on how they started this season. Where I've seen them making a very slow but steady climb. They are improving in all areas, but I think they are still a notch or two or three below Liverpool, and Liverpool should see off this one. Routine victory.
Routine victory. We know in the EPL circle, not much things are routine these days. And, I am fearful the narrative may shift, but I'm maintaining my confidence in this Liverpool team. They have been playing some good football. The team seem to be gelling well, especially with the missing pieces. Salah is missing. A few players got some rest midweek or didn't play the full game. So Liverpool should be at their full strength based on available personnel. And as Christoph mentioned, the front line has really been firing. They have been finding some goals. Jota, Diaz, and Darwin, I believe that should be the front three. Chelsea, it seems as if you can stop Cole Palmer, then you will stop this Chelsea team. So that will be the focus I will look at. I'm looking at how this midfield battle pans out. Can Liverpool stop Cole Palmer, Christoph? He has been on fire all season, and can he actually get a place in the Euros?
I mean, that kind of goes back to what I said earlier about Southgate sticking to familiarity,
familiar faces.
Right? For me, Liverpool versus Chelsea. You mentioned that Chelsea, played Aston Villa. You play the FA Cup different from how you play a Premier League match, right? So I don't think their performance against Aston Villa is can be directly correlated back to the Premier League. And Liverpool, who is going for the title, is going to be playing this game differently than how maybe Aston Villa played. Much more quality in the Liverpool team. But for me, the only way Liverpool loses this game is poor refereeing, or if the club announcement has actually negatively affected them instead of positively.
Well, I mean, they did beat Norwich in the FA Cup quite comprehensively after the announcement, of course, and we saw the reaction of the fans, So the fans seem to be behind the team, Christoph, regardless of the announcement. In fact, as I said, the
Right,
announcement
but
may
that
have
was
galvanized the fans and by
right, but
extension the
no,
players.
no, they've had some time to kind of think about it and for it to set in. So, you know,
Yeah, and I mean, of course, the big mainstream media houses are always looking for any sort of narrative to spin as well. So,
right.
I mean, as I preempted it, I mean, it's really a lose-lose situation for Liverpool or Klopp, unless, the critics are silenced by football and trophies. And of course, I mean, two years ago, the club was pretty much down to win everything. They managed to win 2 out of the 4. Can they go one step further, Sir Cole? Can Liverpool win all 4 competitions they are currently involved in?
A lot of averages will say that no. No, they won't. Some slip away along the way. And 2 years ago, I predicted 2 out of 4, and Liverpool chose the least important two of the 4. Mind you, I think this time they are in a better position than they were then, but I'm still thinking that a lot of averages will say 2 of 4.
Which 2 are you saying?
I think the league is out. For the Europa League, I think Leverkusen is also in the Europa League, which makes it a rough battle. So it won't be an easy victory. So I'm thinking probably the same two. Probably they will win the Carabao Cup and the FA Cup if things go well.
Yes, indeed. The ball is round, as they say, and that's why you play the game. But definitely, Sir Cole, I mean, you're in it to win it. And I mean, I will definitely take 2 trophies rather than none, in all honesty. But I'm definitely going all guns blazing for the quad, Sir Cole. I believe they will become the first English team in history to really win all 4 competition, even though it would have been nicer to win the Champions League and not the Europa League. But I'm thinking with Klopp going out, the team playing as they are, the type of quality depth which is in this team, I believe they have the substance, the ability, and of course the tactical genius, which is Klopp, to really pull off all 4 victories. And they're already in one final, leading the league. So definitely, I mean, their eggs are really aligned well in the baskets which they should be in. But Christophe, coming back to this game, what's your predicted scoreline for this one?
3-1 Liverpool.
3-1 Liverpool. So a routine victory for you then, Christophe.
That's what I think, yes.
What says you, Sir Cole?
I'm thinking that Liverpool 2-0. I really don't see Chelsea scoring in this one unless it's another token PK again for Cole Palmer to score. Besides that, 2-0 Liverpool.
A token PK. Well, I think this one is going to be closer, to be honest. I am thinking Chelsea will score first for Liverpool to rally and win this one 2-1. So that's my call for this one. I think Liverpool will have too much, especially at home, that driving force, which is Anfield. And I believe Liverpool should be victorious in this one, coming out as 2-1 winners and pretty much maintaining their status at the top of the league, regardless of other results elsewhere. But in general, Sir Cole, how do you see this, you could say, midweek set of fixtures really panning out? What else are you looking for over this game week, which is 22? I mean, the season is quickly wrapping up, boiling down, Sir Cole.
I mean, it's basically we're a bit past the halfway mark. Still a lot of football to be played. For this week, games Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. We see some, low table clashes: Fulham, Everton, Luton, Brighton. Arsenal should kick things off tomorrow with a win over Forest. Man City should have their way versus Burnley, which is Spurs versus Brentford. Brentford back with Ivan Toney, but still think they have enough in them to beat Brentford. West Ham Bournemouth should be a tight one. So too Wolves versus Man U. It would be good if Man U could follow up their goal scoring on the weekend with another win versus Wolves on
Man
Thursday.
U, Sir Cole, tight.
Yes, man. Especially at Wolves' home. So yeah, Man U have really been stretched for goals recently. So let's see if they can find two. If they find 2 goals, I see them coming out to winning this one.
Christophe, what says you? I mean, what else are you looking for over the period? I mean, Arsenal are in action. They are playing away from home versus a resurgent Nottingham Forest team. Can we look forward to an upset in that one, Christophe? Forest shooting the apple off Arsenal's head?
Maybe. Maybe. I mean, it's one of those things. They are resurgent, but right now for Arsenal, every game is a must-win game because you have dropped too many points are down the table at the moment. So right now, every game is a must-win game. Every game you have to go out and look for the win. Nottingham Forest, you're at home, but you're probably going to play on the counter attack against a bigger team. So um,
Yeah, I mean,
the
we
thing
did
is,
speak
can
about
they
the low
exploit it?
block and can Arsenal break down that low block setup is the
Right.
question.
Right. And I am still unconvinced. I mean, last match they looked convincing to everybody, not to me. I
But the
think
transfer market is quickly closing up, Christoph, and we are yet to see any movement for a striker for Arsenal. Is Arteta satisfied with the crop of strikers at his disposal currently?
I, I don't know if he's satisfied or not. I can't say. I think maybe the finances are the issue for Arsenal at the moment. I don't know. Maybe they don't see the right player that they would want.
I
Maybe the
mean,
right
wouldn't
player
this
is
be
not
a good
available.
time to really push the envelope? I mean, Ivan Toney is still on the market, and we know he was closely linked.
Yeah, but
Are they've given up chase of Tony?
maybe
Because
they
to
don't
me, I
think.
mean, capturing a player like Tony would definitely galvanize the team. And I would say they would stand an even better chance this year of
Maybe
pushing towards the title than they did even
maybe they
last year.
don't think Ivan Toney is worth 100 mil.
Mm.
Could be
So
it. I
pretty much,
mean,
Sir Cole, Arsenal have given up their chase then, based on the lack of transfer activity we're seeing.
Personally, I don't think if they even got a striker, it will really change much. Arsenal has their philosophy, has their method of playing, and even if they bring in a striker who was scoring goals before, as we have seen them do, it doesn't mean that he will come in and score a bunch of goals either. So actually bringing in somebody of known repute in scoring, I don't think will guarantee anything at all. It probably will still end up second or third either way.
Not much faith there in the Gunners, it seems.
No, not much.
not at the moment. I
Ah,
feel
tough, tough.
the issues Arsenal is currently having are things that should have been addressed in summer, and they were not for whatever reason. Arteta wanted a project with Kai Havertz instead of bringing in a proper replacement for Xhaka and bringing in a striker are two key areas. I mean, late last season, I said Zinchenko was being exploited. Early first half of the season, excellent. Nobody was exploiting the weakness, but the weakness was always there. Late in the season, we saw it being exploited, and now this season we see teams exploiting it almost every single game now. So until there is some solutions going into place, I mean, if you have a weakness that teams are exploiting, you would think that would be something you would try to fix immediately. You can't wait until summer transfer window. Now is the time to fix this issue. Um, if you're short on goals, you need to change something or you need to buy a striker. They did something last week. I don't know if it's going to stick. I don't know if it's going to work every week. I don't think so. I think they also need a striker, but another fix for the goal scoring is that they need somebody in that midfield who is going to help in the build up play. And that is not necessarily Kai Havertz at the moment. He is not an eight. Arsenal are in need of an eight in that midfield.
A proper Shaka replacement, so to speak, especially on that left side to
Right.
possibly assist the left winger. Martinelli link up with Shaka was one of beauty last season, but that has disappeared this season, and teams have pretty much figured Arsenal out to a large extent, it seems. And I mean, the regression in terms of points tally is there for all to see, but such is life. Such is life. I mean, the ball is still round and there is still much football to play. So they could yet rally and pull something off. Who to tell? Other teams around them may very well drop some points. But Christophe, coming back to you on this one, I mean, Sir Cole did mention earlier that he does expect Spurs to get the better of Brentford. Spurs is another team which is really hitting high. And we see the return of Madison, Sir Cole, Christophe. I mean, what sort of effect can we expect? Will we see Spurs at their best again, Sir Cole?
Hard to say. I really need to see them with their lineup now with Madison back and see how they play before I can say the effect of him coming back will be positive or negative. Good player. They were riding high when he was fit. When he comes back in, when Son comes back in, then I can say, well, yes, should they re-hit those heights, then there should be a force for that top four. Right now, I won't really make a call at this point.
Final thoughts from you, Christophe. We're quickly running out of time. What's your final take for this week of football?
I think it's going to be some some crucial games this week. Liverpool specifically, I look forward to watching that game and seeing how it plays out. But it is one of those must-win games for them, especially because City is playing Burnley. Burnley is not in great form, so that's almost a guaranteed 3 points. And
Yeah, man,
right,
that's a guaranteed 3 points, Christophe. Come on.
no, you still have to pick.
I
You still
mean,
have to
you're
perform on the day and pick up the
Burnley in
three.
the relegation zone, and of course,
Right.
the return of Kevin De Bruyne.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. It is basically a guaranteed 3 points. KDB is back and he's firing,
That's a banker, Christophe. Banker. You
right?
can bet your
And
house on that one.
I don't I don't know how is Erling Haaland still out? Nope, still out injured. So I mean, when Haaland is back as well, it will be to devastating effect because he will have KDB back behind him. So Liverpool right now must win. I look forward to seeing that. Arsenal must win. City must win. So those three teams have to win their games to continue on.
Yeah, definitely some must-win games coming up in order for the status quo to be maintained. But final thoughts, Sir Cole.
Well, looking for another. I mean, it's been a long break. It's really been a long break from EPL. Not really used to coming back with a midweek fixture, but looking forward to the results and hope we can see another entertaining week of football.
Well, there you have it, viewers and subscribers, the thoughts of Sir Cole and Christophe. I'd just like to thank them for coming on board and sharing their thoughts and their opinions. Of course, viewers and subscribers, please continue to leave your comments. Let us know what your predicted scoreline is. And of course, continue to help us to grow the platform by, of course, sharing and subscribing. But until next time, this is Rafa signing off.